Hey everybody, Wes here for Wednesday's workout. We are 15 minutes of work for our strength. Gonna build up to our 5 rep heavy push press. We've been doing push press now on this 12-week cycle. We should have a really good feel of what number we wanna try to get to. Keep in mind, sometimes the shoulders take a little bit longer to get warmed up. So if the warm up wasn't enough, you might need to get some dumbbells out and do some light sets or empty bar, even some strict press just to get the shoulders moving. And then start getting into where we have those 2 or 3 attempts at our 5 rep heavy. I do want to talk about where your wrist and forearm placement is under the bar in regards to your power, okay? So when we get the bar up and we're in that front position, I want you to pay attention to what your wrists do. If that bar is kind of creeping back onto those fingers, then typically what happens is your elbows are further up, you're almost in that front squat position. And we want to roll the bar more now into the palm so that way you can feel those forearms getting underneath the bar. Elbows will still be slightly in front, but then as I go to dip and drive, I have that force underneath. A lot of times we'll correct that automatically if we have the bar rolled into the fingers when we start. Right when you go into your dip, you kind of roll it and then go, but we might as well just get set up. Pay attention also where that bar is overhead. So dip, drive, are you rolling it way back with no support? Or is it still sitting in that heel of your hand where you have that support and you're pushing the bar up towards the ceiling? We don't want any bent elbows on these 5 rep heavies, but we also want good solid foundation underneath the lift each time we go, okay? It's gonna be heavy, so you're probably not going stringing them right into each other. So you wanna make sure on the way down that we dip, drive, bring that bar down, absorb it, dip, drive into the next one, okay? So take our time on that, 15 minutes of our 5 rep heavy. Then the workout, 14-minute AMRAP, 5 shoulder to overhead. So now you get to pick push press or push jerk. If you can go between the two, it makes the most sense to go push jerk. This is because it'll be a little bit easier at the top to not have to do as much work extending, where you can actually drop underneath that bar and it becomes more efficient. You also should, if we were testing, you would be able to lift a little bit heavier with your jerk. So now when we get to this workout and it's calling for a percentage of our push press, it should be a little bit easier to actually jerk it versus push press. But if you're not confident with your jerk and need to stick with push press, that's totally fine. On this 5 shoulder overhead, it's calling for 85% of the 5 rep number that you just got. So depending on how that feels, if that feels way too heavy that you're not gonna be able to get 5 unbroken, we're gonna have to scale back a little bit. Or if it just feels too heavy for the jerk, whatever the case may be, we might need to adjust that number some, but that's the goal, is that we're gonna be at 85%, but keep them unbroken. We then go to 25 walking lunges. This is gonna be body weight. As long as there's room in the gym, there should be. We're gonna think about stepping down, keeping the chest up, and then back up to standing. That would be 1. It is an odd number, so each time you go to your lunges, just switch which leg you started with first. If for some reason we're starting to fall forward, we might need to limit the range of motion a little bit, or be next to something for a little bit of support on our lunges. But that will add up, having a lot of lunges. And then finishes off with 75 double unders. That might be singles, that might be plate hops, that might be some attempts. But on this, those legs are gonna start getting taxed a little bit more than you might have thought, especially when you get back to the bar and you're working on your dip and then either jerk or push press. You're gonna feel it a little bit more in those legs because of those other 2 movements. So good luck with your 5 rep heavy on push press. Have that carry over into your shoulder to overhead. Get that new number, have fun, and we'll see you on Wednesday.